Hi, everyone. Happy Disability Pride Month. My name is Nico Meyering. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with slightly askew glasses, a dark blue shirt that says disability is not a bad word. I am seated in front of a purple background. My office wall. I'm here today with my friend Samantha. Samantha, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hey everyone, I'm Samantha Duran. I'm a fair-skinned Latina with a black short French bob. I am also, I guess, heavily tattooed. um, I'm wearing red lipstick with some long eyelashes and beige arch earrings with a matching beige dress. And I'm in my room in front of some art as well as some records are on the wall. So
Thank you so much for joining me and helping me out with this project. Samantha, tell me, what does disability pride mean to you?
disability pride to me means to be unapologetically disabled.
Okay.
I think um, a lot of the ableist society tries to shun us out of being who we are. I know growing up, I felt like I had to hide my scars and my disability when it was a lot more visible. Although I am an ambulatory wheelchair user now, and so I am kind of like I kind of have like a weird like situation in which I can be able-bodied passing 1 second, and then the next second I'm in a wheelchair. But when I was younger, I just looked like I was disabled, quote unquote, you know. Um, so I did try really hard to hide that because I was always bullied and, told that my life wasn't worth living simply because I had a health condition and thus disability.
I'm so sorry that people were judging you in that way. And I see your answer in that, like you, my disability used to be more visible when I was younger. Sometimes, though, I worry that invisible versus visible disabilities might be a bit binary. A lot,
Yeah.
a lot of our disabilities that we now would term invisible might be considered visible if America as a society paid attention to disabled people.
Hmm.
But who
I
knows if that
agree.
will happen.
Right. Disability visibility.
Right. Thank you so much. Samantha, what are some lessons you've had to learn while traveling along your disabled journey?
Well, kind of piggybacking off my experience being bullied and feeling as if I had to hide my
Mhm.
disability and thus who I am. Um, as I said, I would hide my disability, I would hide my scars, I wouldn't wear pants, skirts, skirts, shorts, anything that really revealed my legs, which are most affected by my disability. And I was truly convinced that I was unlovable because I am disabled. But when I was around 12, 13 years old, I had the epiphany that if anyone wants to judge me because of my disabilities, they don't truly love me or cherish me, and they don't deserve to be in my life at any capacity. This is this is it's not me, it's them. That's a personal problem for them and they're missing out.
Thank you so much. I only smile because I'm glad that you learned that at such a young age. It seems like a lot of people that I've talked to in this project have struggled or even do still struggle with self-acceptance and related issues. And I'm glad that you were able to triumph over them at a young age.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Like I was born disabled. I forgot to mention this. I was born disabled. I have an extremely, extremely rare disability called Maffucci syndrome, in which I was born with these bone tumors all over my body, and I also have vein tumors in my hands and feet. And so, growing up, I did have visible deformities in my leg. my right leg, and I was constantly getting very, very invasive surgeries. And I also had a limp. So yeah, that's my disability. Well, the main one, right? I think most of us have like a bunch of visible comorbidities. But I forgot what I was gonna say. It was interesting is that although I did come to terms with my disability when I was younger, um, in recent times, it has kind of like crept up on me a little bit. I had an ex-boyfriend, a long-term ex-boyfriend who left me because of my disabilities. They were flaring, and he decided to leave me simply because of my disabilities. And so obviously, like, I think that like very like that triggered those like old feelings I had of like, I guess, inadequacy and being unlovable because I'm disabled, although like I know that's not true. But it is a lifelong journey, honestly.
It is. And it's okay to feel one way about it one day and another way the next. I see you in that. I want to flip this question kind of on its head. What have you had to unlearn as part of your disabled experience?
Unlearn. Um, I had to unlearn that. That's a good question. There are quite a few things. I
Of
mean,
course.
I guess to some extent, I had to unlearn ableism myself because, okay, go on. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I guess I had to unlearn ableism myself, right? We're
Yeah,
always we are taught life and about everything through the purview of being non-disabled. Um, but we are not. And again, there's a lot of resentment against disabled people and a lot of prejudice. And I think growing up disabled, um, the ableism really like permeates your psyche, and it influences a lot of who you are and how you view the world, right? So yeah.
how has internalized ableism shown up for you?
um well, I think, like I said, just hiding my disability to some extent.
Yeah,
I think also, hmm, let's see. Sorry, I'm a little brain foggy today.
that's all right.
um I mean, what's interesting is that, okay, this is actually a very interesting thing.
Okay,
Growing up, I never really identified as disabled.
all right.
I didn't even know, I didn't really realize that I was disabled,
Mhm.
right? Because we're always told that disability is a bad thing and that disability is a bad word.
Right.
So I always referred to myself as having a bone condition.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I was about 18 years old that I started identifying as disabled, because it is a lived identity. It
Okay.
influences and permeates every aspect of our lives, not just health wise, but with our social interactions, with employment, with even just using public transportation. It's inaccessible, right? So yeah.
Samantha, thank you so much. Your answers are comprehensive and remarkably well thought out. My last planned question for this time together is what is one thing you want able-bodied people to know about disabled life?
Something I would like non-disabled people to know about disabled experience is that we don't get to choose when our symptoms flare. We don't get to choose how we feel at any given moment. And we don't get to choose to be in the situations that we're in. But something that they can choose to do is to change the way they view disability and change the conditions in which we are forced into. We are, as disabled people, put in so many places of injustice. And I think people, like non-disabled people, accept that as something that is acceptable, but it's really not, right? We're forced into poverty. We're forced into having to choose whether to get married or stay on benefits and stay on our health care, Medicare, right? The only thing keeping us alive. We're forced in situations in which there's only 2% of housing nationwide is accessible. We're forced in situations in which police encounters are unfortunately disproportionately brutalized in terms of their interactions with disabled people. And a lot of conversations around so many different topics, I feel, are exclusive of disabled people when it's very intersectional. I mean, it was Disability Pride Month, and who was talking about it? Only disabled people?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would hope that non-disabled people would start integrating, being more inclusive and representational of disabled people in conversations.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah. Since 1 in 4 US adults has a disability, every issue facing our nation is inherently a disability issue. And we always deserve at least several places at the table when these issues are discussed.
I agree. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah, here we are.
Samantha, thank you so much for helping me out with this project of mine. This is now your time to promote any social media profiles you want to hype up, any projects you've got coming up or have recently completed. This is your soapbox. Let us be your cheerleader.
So, I am on, I guess, all platforms unless I don't know of one. My username is kind of funny. It's a disabled icon. And as for projects, I mean, well, I have really good news that's coming up. In 2 days, I will be going inpatient at the National Institute of Health for my study on Maffucci syndrome. So not really a project, but just a very pivotal moment in my life for my disability that's really rare. And I'm really excited. So that's some good news.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that you get some answers that can help not only you, but also the Maffucci community at large.
Truly, me too.
Well, I'm rooting for you. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.